Chapter 7, The Journey Through Life, Mindfulness, Trauma and Resilience. Coping with Change. Life is changing constantly. Being able to cope with change is important for our survival. Stock-taking our life helps us to appreciate what we have in this moment. Keeping a gratitude diary will help to clarify what we have and help us to prepare and adapt to the future. Self-care and self-compassion are key to nurturing our being and provides us with the strength and resilience to cope better with whatever challenges are thrown at us. After finding mindfulness, I naively thought that life would be plain sailing. Everything would be tranquil and calm, and happiness would prevail. Quote from Rosenberg and Guy, 2004, page 50. Meditation becomes a sanctuary that people drop into to get away from things, instead of a means to lead them into a fuller life. Such people are still deluded, just very calm in their delusion. They are calm fools. Betrayal. Just when I found peace and harmony in my own life, I realized one person I had put faith, time, hope and respect in opened a floodgate and almost drowned me in their deep, dark, deceptive and dangerous den of grudge and devastation. I had to emotionally swim for my life in order to stay afloat. Initially, I was shell-shocked and numbed by the trauma, and the only way I can describe how it affected me was that I truly felt as if I was already dead. My whole being felt withered and torn. I was sick to my stomach. Sunken heart. The following poem denotes my feelings of betrayal and trauma. Broken in pieces, a heart full of woe. How could you lie for so long when you know? My soul is so sensitive, feelings so deep. Love is now dead and is buried asleep. In a graveyard so dark, so desperate and lonely, drifting around with no place to feel homely. Wailing and haunting, floating empty on high, perpetually spinning in an empty dark sky. Faster and faster, around and around, in a world so unfriendly, with no feeling or sound. The pieces still crumbling into powder and crust will eventually settle on earth as a dust. Deep rolling of thunder and lightning aflash, with rain pouring tears on the powder-like ash. Washed to the deep depths all muddy and brown, the lashings of weather force the heavy parts down. Now in its deep grave, unable to breathe, deeper and deeper beneath the roots of the trees. No sound and no colour, no blue and no green, just black with no light. The end is now seen. Dealing with trauma. Ruby Wax, in her book, Say New World, states that in her opinion, mindfulness is not appropriate for severe trauma. Through my own personal experience of trauma, I totally agree with her. Learning mindfulness in the midst of a stressful and chaotic life, as Marsha Linehan says, is like trying to put up a tent in the middle of a hurricane, cited by Sears, 2014, page 206. I was left devastated by the revelations about this person. The deeper I dug, the more was revealed. To be perfectly honest, it was like a bereavement to me. The wonderful person I'd known was now dead. The experience took me back to the death of my father. It left me feelings of self-doubt and emptiness. I was like an empty cargo vessel with nothing on board and nothing to offer anyone. Had the person I had known and cared for died, or had they never existed in the first place? Had the person merely been someone I'd imagined or perhaps dreamt about? Severe trauma requires expert help and guidance. Do not be afraid to seek help from the medical profession if you do experience trauma in your life. There is absolutely no shame in this. Trauma is serious, as I believe, if left untreated, it can affect your central nervous system. You wouldn't hesitate to seek professional treatment for a broken limb. Therefore, a broken heart or mind needs urgent attention. Mindfulness and Resilience. Quote by Kabat-Zinn, 2013, page 411. Emotional pain, the pain in our hearts and minds, is far more widespread and just as likely to be debilitating as physical pain. Take time to heal. Always remember that you are the important one. Nurture yourself and build yourself up to full strength bit by bit. It's almost as if when trauma strikes, your house has been flattened and that you have to rebuild it up again, brick by brick. Be kind to yourself and spend time doing things that nurture your being. Give yourself a break and nurture your soul. Show yourself compassion and give yourself the love and understanding that you would offer to a friend who is struggling. In my experience, the only person you can really trust is yourself. Therefore, it makes sense to invest time and effort in that special person. Get to know yourself and never lose yourself in others. Losing yourself in another person can happen so easily. When it comes to your life, it is important that you are in the driver's seat. So be honest and blunt with yourself and ask yourself if you are the one driving or are you being driven. If you discover that someone else is driving your life for you, find ways of becoming the driver again. Always be true to yourself. Listen to your inner voice and notice any negative put-downs and replace them with positive, motivational, and uplifting sayings that will lift your spirits. Quote by Eleanor Roosevelt. The saying, "No one makes you feel inferior without your consent," in my opinion, is false. What people say to us and the actions they take can have a dramatic effect on our psyche. I also disagree with the saying, "Sticks and stones will break my bones, but names will never hurt me," by Couples, 2009. Of course names hurt us. Cruel words can destroy our confidence and self-worth. Mindfulness has awakened in me a sense of increased awareness to words and actions and how they can have a profound effect on how we choose to live our lives. Mindfulness helps us to be more resilient by building up reserves of energy, which we can then tap into when life becomes turbulent. It's like putting money in the bank and tapping into it when you most need it. Learning new skills and having interesting hobbies can help to keep our minds active and open to achieving new things. In order not to get into a rut, we should keep an open mind to learning and try different activities. I believe that lifelong learning is vital for our mental and physical health. This stops us from getting stuck in a rut and suffering from boredom and depression. Focusing on new and motivating hobbies and pastimes helps us to be creative and find more fulfillment in our daily lives. Quote by Ruby Wax, 2018, page 53. In order for us to survive in the future, we have to upgrade our minds in the same way that we keep upgrading technology.